Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle Yuri and Luck Bundle of June 2026. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? Please visit the links in the description below. You'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you to viewers for watching my videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Kindred Spirits on the Roof, a heartfelt Yuri visual novel where you guide 6 unique girl-girl couples toward love, all while helping 2 matchmaking ghosts fulfill their final wish. You play as Yuna, a quiet student whose peaceful rooftop lunches are interrupted by the ghosts of Sachi and Megumi, former students who fell in love after death but never experienced intimacy in life. They recruit you as their Yuri Cupid, hoping your efforts to spark other romances will help them understand love more deeply. What follows is a 25+ hour journey through delicate, emotional stories with surprisingly deep themes of identity, vulnerability, and acceptance. This is not just a parade of fluff. Each couple's arc is rich with nuance, often navigating the social pressure of same-gender attraction in a conservative setting. The writing is thoughtful, the pacing deliberate, and the emotional payoff, especially toward the end, is deeply moving. You'll likely find yourself rooting hard for each pairing, even tearing up as the final moments approach. Visually, the game's classic visual novel fare: charming art, clean sprite work, and lovely backgrounds. The voice acting brings each character vividly to life, and the music strikes a beautiful balance between whimsy and melancholy. Some repetition in the story structure and a few pacing hiccups may slow you down, but the payoff is always worth it. If you're after a touching character-driven romance that respects its cast and its audience, this Eurytopia delivers in full. At number 2 we have Lilycle, Rainbow Stage, a Yuri visual novel that follows the daily lives of 15 high school girls as they navigate friendships and budding romantic feelings. While you might initially feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of characters introduced simultaneously, the game eventually allows you to connect with them as the narrative shifts into episodic segments. The story primarily focuses on 3 protagonists: Yuno, an idol, Saika, who is shy and introspective, and Tamaki, a new teacher. As you progress, you'll make choices that influence the direction of these relationships. However, you may find the storytelling structure confusing. The calendar-based episode selection can feel disjointed, with timelines often jumping around, which might break your immersion. Furthermore, the romantic development sometimes feels rushed, with confessions occurring abruptly rather than building naturally, which can leave you wanting more depth. Despite these narrative shortcomings, the game's presentation is undeniably strong. The artwork is stunning, featuring expressive character designs and top-notch animations that make each of the 15 girls uniquely appealing. This aesthetic is perfectly matched by a delightful soundtrack and immersive voice acting, which brings genuine personality to every character. If you're a dedicated fan of the slice of life and Yuri genres, Lilycle Rainbow Stage offers an enjoyable experience filled with extremely cute characters. While it lacks the narrative depth of complex visual novels, its charm and visual appeal make it a worthwhile journey if you're looking for a light-hearted, character-driven story to brighten your day. At number 3 we have Letters from a Rainy Day, Oceans and Lace, a visual novel that invites you to experience a poignant atmospheric journey through its heartfelt narrative and beautifully illustrated character designs. As you dive into this interactive story, you're introduced to a diverse cast of characters, including Aoi Mizuho, Hiro Gyeonji, Sachi Kurahashi, Kiko Gyeonji, Rei Tachibana, and Junko Yoshimi, each contributing to the game's emotional depth. The game creates a calming yet evocative environment, perfect for those times when you seek a narrative-heavy experience that emphasizes emotional connection and character development over complex gameplay mechanics. You'll find that the art style, featuring school settings and expressive portraits, immerses you deeply in the daily lives and personal challenges of the cast. For anyone who enjoys visual novels, you'll likely appreciate how the title balances its dialogue-driven structure with a melancholy rainy day aesthetic that feels uniquely personal. It is a slow burn experience, designed for you to take your time and savor every interaction. If you're looking for a story that focuses on friendship, growth, and the quiet moments between life's major events, this title offers a compelling experience. As you progress, you'll discover that the choices you make shape your understanding of these characters and their intertwined destinies. It is definitely worth exploring if you value strong storytelling and aesthetic charm in your gaming library. And number 4 we have OshiRabu, Waifus over Husbandos, a light-hearted Yuri visual novel that follows the story of Akuru, a geeky woman obsessed with 2D husbandos in gacha games, who finds her life upended when she accidentally proposes to Ren, a woman exclusively into other women. As Ren becomes obsessed with chasing Akuru, the two end up as roommates, leading to a series of comedic slice-of-life interactions. If you enjoy a relaxed pace, you'll appreciate how this title prioritizes character dynamics over high-stakes drama. The contrast between Akuru's devotion to her virtual interests and Ren's genuine romantic pursuit creates hilarious friction, further bolstered by their friend Shino, who loves stirring up jealousy. While the story is relatively short, lasting about 2 hours, it offers a charming experience with beautiful watercolor-style art, quality character designs, and 21 detailed CGs. You should be aware that the writing, while generally good, suffers from occasional editing oversights, including spelling errors and awkward sentence phrasing. Despite these minor technical flaws, the overall tone remains sweet and enjoyable. The game features limited choices that lead to different endings, providing some replayability. While the Steam version is quite tame, those seeking mature content can access it through the full JASD USA Denpa Soft version or paid DLC. OshiRabu is a recommended title for fans of the genre looking for a laid-back humorous story about love and personal growth. If you're seeking an easygoing visual novel to brighten your day, you'll likely find this charming title quite endearing. And number 5 we have Please Be Happy, a comfy slice-of-life visual novel set in a fictionalized version of Wellington, New Zealand. You follow the story of Miho, a character who was once a fox in the forests of Korea, and has spent a long time searching for the person who showed her kindness. Now appearing human, Miho has spent years observing humanity and surviving as a thief before eventually finding herself in Wellington, New Zealand. As you progress, she meets new people, most notably an aspiring novelist named Aspen, and a vampire library owner named Juliet, who help her understand the nuances of human kindness and connection. The game is a gentle, contemplative experience. It is not an epic nor a high-stakes adventure. Rather, it is a sedate exploration of identity and belonging. The narrative is linear, though you are given low-stake choices that eventually lead you toward one or two major romantic routes. The presentation is a significant highlight, featuring a subdued, warm art style that perfectly complements the overall crazy tone. While the pace can be slow, the writing is thoughtful, touching on themes like diaspora and the nature of relationships between mortals and immortals. With stellar voice acting and an original emotional soundtrack, it offers a well-crafted package. If you're looking for an intense, comedic, or action-packed title, this might not be for you. However, if you want a quiet, heartfelt, and deeply personal story about learning how to be happy and what it means to be human, this is a wonderful choice. At number 6 we have SeaBed, a visual novel that defines the term slow burn, crafting an ambitious and delicately constructed tale centered on loss and the complex process of dealing with grief. Rather than adhering to a simple chronological order, the narrative dips into memories and past events to build its emotional depth. You follow the story through the perspectives of 3 protagonists, inseparable childhood friends Sachiko and Takako, and their friend Narasaki, who works at a medical clinic. After the mysterious disappearance of Takako, you witness Sachiko struggling to cope, even experiencing hallucinations where her former partner still seems present. As Sachiko becomes an increasingly unreliable narrator, the narrative blurs the line between reality and delusion, leaving you to constantly question if what you're seeing is real or merely a figment of her imagination. Be prepared for a significant time investment. Paleontology is fully committed to the novel aspect of this genre, filling its 12 chapters with overloaded descriptions and exhaustive attention to detail. Whether you're observing the precise way a sandwich is prepared, or following complex medical theories through Sachiko's mental state, the story is never in a hurry. Because it is a kinetic experience with no choices to influence the plot, some may find the pacing daunting. However, if you possess the patience to engage with deliberate, methodical storytelling, you'll find a deeply rewarding experience. SeaBed is an unapologetically slow journey that is utterly in love with the world it creates, ultimately proving itself as a poignant, haunting work of art. At number 7 we have Fatal 12, a compelling visual novel that plunges you into a high-stakes supernatural battle royale. You assume the role of Rinka Shishimai, a student who, after dying in terrorist bombing, is resurrected by a goddess named Parka. You're joined by 11 other resurrected individuals, and together, you must compete in a 12-week divine selection to determine who will ultimately survive and remain alive. To win, you must engage in a deadly game of information gathering. You're required to uncover the full name, cause of death, and deepest regret of your fellow participants to elect them for elimination. The mechanics of investigating these secrets create engaging mystery, as the divine interference ensures that conventional records of these deaths no longer exist. You'll find that the narrative shines through its multifaceted cast, offering complex characters that you generally want to understand. While the story is deep and emotionally resonant, you might find the gameplay structure slightly underwhelming. The branching paths are fairly simplistic, often requiring only one or two key choices, which makes the experience feel more like a kinetic novel than a traditional branching adventure. However, the minor grievance is overshadowed by the impressive production value. With stunning art, exceptional Japanese voice acting, and a beautiful soundtrack, the small development team has crafted a title that stands proudly alongside larger mainstream visual novels. If you appreciate a thoughtful, mystery-packed narrative with high stakes, Fatal 12 is an experience you should not miss. At number 8 we have Blackberry Honey, a non-traditional adult-oriented visual novel that transports you to mid-19th century England. You follow Lorena Woe, who after losing her job becomes a maid for the prestigious Lennart family. You'll find your working life taxing, filled with long hours, verbal abuse from fellow staff, and difficult commands from Lady Constance. The central narrative focuses on your relationship with the head maid, Tao Hua, leading to a taboo romance. While the game is visually charming, utilizing a watercolor aesthetic that effectively captures a Victorian-era atmosphere, you'll likely find the experience conflicting. As a kinetic novel, the lack of branching paths is a significant missed opportunity, as you have no agency to influence the narrative through difficult choices. Furthermore, you may find Tao Hua's characterization frustrating. Her tendency to use eroticism to silence your arguments undermines her earlier stance against objectification, creating a confusing dynamic. The game also suffers from underutilized subplots. You'll encounter characters like Lady Constance and Ada, who have promising arcs or potential as love interests, only for their stories to be left frustratingly unresolved and abruptly abandoned. Additionally, the lack of varied character art for pivotal roles and the absence of voice acting diminish the impact of dramatic scenes. While the music is soothing and the world building has moments of delight, there's simply not enough content to justify the full price. But in a bundle, it could be worth diving into this bittersweet Victorian tale. At number 9 we have Night Cascades, a captivating Yuri visual novel infused with a unique police procedural twist, transporting you to 1980s America. The game's storyline offers a compelling narrative, filled with intriguing twists and turns, while the meticulously crafted setting immerses you in the era's atmosphere. The addition of music and a UI that masterfully captures the 80s vibe enhances the overall experience, with nostalgic CRT TV scenes adding an extra layer of immersion. While some might find the story relatively short, its well-paced plot ensures that additional length isn't necessary. Night Cascades successfully ties up the mysteries presented and the romantic relationships between the two main characters, Jackie and Diane. However, some players might feel that their romance develops a tad too quickly, with a desire for more build-up to make it feel more earned. Night Cascades boasts great artwork, with detailed character designs and expressive sprites that breathe new life into every character, even those with minor roles. The addition of minigames, although not groundbreaking, adds an immersive element to the police procedural theme, without feeling intrusive. Ultimately, Night Cascades delivers a polished and delightful experience that showcases the dedication and love put into its creation. The richly developed setting, beautiful art, and engaging narrative make it a worthwhile addition to any visual novel enthusiast's collection. Whether you're a fan of Yuri romance, police procedurals, or simply appreciate a well-crafted story, Night Cascades is a must-play. At number 10 we have Highway Blossoms and Highway Blossoms Next Exit DLC, a kinetic visual novel following Ember, a grieving woman traveling the American Midwest. After her grandfather's passing, her aimless road trip takes a turn when she meets Marina, a sweet girl whose car has broken down. They soon become entangled in a treasure hunt, forming a heartwarming bond along the way. With its superb writing, beautiful character art, and excellent soundtrack, it is a deeply rewarding experience that prioritizes emotional connection over complex gameplay. While short, the narrative feels complete and poignant, managing to handle even its more mature themes with surprising innocence and care. The the story continues in Highway Blossom's Next Exit, a bonus DLC that catches up with Ember and Marina 1 month after the original events. This time, they're navigating the complexities of their new relationship while attending an alien convention in Las Vegas. Beyond the main couple, Next Exit shines by providing deeper insights into the supporting cast, including Tess and the fan favorite Cassie. While it lacks the explicit scenes found in the base game's optional content, it succeeds as a delightful side story that allows you to see the characters grow beyond their initial introduction. Highway Blossoms and its DLCs form a cohesive, highly recommended journey for fans of the genre. Whether you're searching for a story about grief, love, or simply a charming road trip, you will find it here. The heartfelt writing ensures that you will genuinely care for these characters, making this an essential visual novel experience you should not miss. And that is all for this bundle. If you're hunting for a serious visual novel haul, the Yuri and Luck Waifus for Laifus bundle is an absolute win. With bangers like Kindred Spirits on the roof and Highway Blossoms included, the value is cracked. Sure, some titles like Fatal 12 have mixed community vibes, but for visual novel fans, this library is stacked with feels and great stories. Don't sleep on these deals. Grab the keys before they expire and get ready to dive into some top-tier waifu content. In any case, hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.